What is up, my shredheads? Welcome back to the channel. We are in Irvine, California, and we're going to be hanging out with SUPER73 at their new location, and we're going to be seeing what they have in store for 2024. So let's go check it out.
We're 8 years old now, which is wild. We're kind of working on this still, but this will essentially be like the timeline. So we're going to have a ton of graphics that are going up on the wall, but obviously from the original down to, you know, the R. One of those, the red ones, resold on eBay for like $10,500.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're stoked that like people still want them. We're very humbled. We are working on a lot of new stuff, and there are cup holders. The newer ideation of what we're doing has lock boxes and safe areas, but also for drinks and whatever. So it is way more mindful, but it is still a cup holder,
Awesome.
which is cool. Our releases this year are going to be more of a continuation, but simply because the releases next year are going to just wipe the slate clean again, which is exciting. No details, but I think it's been a lot of years on this platform. You see the copycats and the knockoffs, not only copying the designs, but down to the colors, and we're like, okay, space is getting a little bit crowded, so we're focusing on true innovation. As of yesterday, just successfully sourced and locked in a brand new controller that we're designing from the ground up. Which is,
nice.
If you're a SUPER73 rider, you know it's the crux of the frustrations. And so this new controller is unlike anything we've seen. It's also, that technology is also being used in actual cars and four-wheel vehicles, and so it is, the expanse of what it can do and what it can cover and how you can customize it is far greater. It's so funny because our app, I think, is sitting at like 3.5 stars, and that's simply because regulations keep us there. We love the idea of the community creating their own apps. We love the idea of the community creating their own stuff. We obviously can't mess with it because we gotta keep the US government happy,
right?
Especially as like new regulations are cracking down. I mean, there's like literally an e-bike license legislation going around right now, which is crazy. Drew and I met yesterday with Pedalecs, so they've got a whole course on educating, so we're gonna partner with them to try to get ahead of this and be like, hey, this is way better than doing this because you're gonna be able to encourage more people to ride. But we're obviously super grateful to have made it this far, and you learn your fair share of lessons along the way. But I think that's why we're taking so much time on this next gen, because this next gen it needs to be like the answer. So
I was telling him, whatever you sprinkled in that K1D motor.
Yeah, that was the first.
You can sprinkle that in the bigger one.
So that's the first official release of our next gen platforms. So that was, we didn't share that too much because our next gen platforms are still, you know, a short bit away now. But when we first announced the K1D, that was years ahead of anything else we were going to release. There was literally C1X technology that we like worked into that K1D, and so all of that bike is so over-engineered, like outrageously so. I mean, you guys have both ridden it. You can see, and it's still limited. We can do more with it. That bike can take 300 pounds at a time, which is what's insane. So that's the idea of this next gen platform. We want to make sure that this stuff is so far above what the competition is bringing out that we're playing in our own lane again. Because what made us great, I think, in the beginning was that we were just in our own lane. So it wasn't this comparison. It wasn't like which bike is better, which clone is going to do more. Like right now, any clone that comes over is going to be faster, more aggressive than what we're making, mainly because we're stuck manufacturing according to regulations they don't have to adhere to. But then we thought, hey, if we're going to redesign and rebuild all of this, why don't we do it in a way that really puts the power in the consumer's hands? So still all on the level, still all good with Uncle Sam, but definitely something that I think gives our riders what they're looking for. But the customizing community is so robust now, and it's so, when you guys are turning these into mopeds, and I will tell you, like, we have seen the Sur-Ron craze. We know their numbers. We know what they're doing in terms of how many units they're selling, like globally. It's outrageous. You know, we were always like, we're not Sur-Rons, like we're not, you know, that way. But as we've been developing the C1X, it's kind of opening our eyes a little bit to be like, there is an interesting off-road world that we can start to dive more into. We have the engineering prowess now, we have the design prowess now, we've learned every regulation, every bit of red tape that is out there. I mean, our team has really kind of dug into it, and so that's sort of where the silence has come from, in that we're just kind of, it's funny because we're like bettering ourselves, you know, but it's like we're doing it on our own and we want to show back up as like a huge force. Brent and Josh, we do a little behind the scenes look. Does anybody want to kind of talk through the service center processes? Josh?
All right, well, we got almost all the stands in here, but all the service guys except for the service writers will be in here. So it's gonna be really loud and hopefully won't burn anything with the carpet here. But No, we got more space than we had before, so I think we'll be able to get a lot more bikes done, or at least service a lot more. We have benches set up so we can test parts and everything, so we'll be able to do everything here short of fabricating the bikes.
And obviously fabrication not here, but we're setting up fabrication facilities across the way. Right down that way in there, we're going to be able to essentially build one-off custom Super 73s yet again. And so part of the Halo program, which is something we've rolled out this past couple of years, and messing with customs and different looks and feel, and we want to start to get more into like, hey, what does a frame change look like? How do we make something that's spec'd out to a community member's concept art, and we actually like manufacture that here?
Yeah.
So we're getting way into that. 2024 is basically the year of style, you know, because we are focusing on how do we style the brand moving forward? How do we kind of freshen it up, get it a little lively again, and then get ready for the launch of everything new that's coming. So it's big on style. The drops we have this year, kind of similar to the bikes you've seen. Definitely some tweaks, some upgrades, but the coloring, like the colorways, the tires, everything is so different.
No way. Whoa! Did you see that?
Chatted with Halo, Doritos, and Rockstar for their big campaign this year. And we were like, hey, give us a shot. We'd love to make a really unique prize. And so there's 2 of these in existence right now. We partnered with MacGuffin makers, who really kind of did the heavy lifting on it. We just sat with them and said these are the things we'd love for it to do, and they blew our minds. It's got Master Chief's headlights here. It's got servos in there.
What?
So this is like truly a piece of art.
Oh, wow. I feel like I'm in the future.
I think they said there's something like 180 unique printed pieces on it.
I think you're already thinking of how can I wheelie this.
I can
That would be
definitely
devastating.
wheel it. What was it, like a jet testing facility before?
Like weaponized drones.
What?
Yeah.
Weaponized
So,
drones
if you're
used to
familiar
be
with
here.
Anduril, it's founded by Palmer Luckey, who invented the Oculus
Uh-huh.
that Facebook acquired.
Yep.
When he left there, he was like, I'm gonna make a drone company. And
Weaponized.
2024 is going to be pretty awesome for Super 73. We did get some behind the scenes info that we cannot talk to you about. Stuff is going to be getting released here pretty soon. All right, Drew, thanks for having us, brother. We cleaned Super 73 out. Let's go. If you guys enjoyed that content, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and ringing that notification to be notified when I'm making videos. And are you guys ready for the moment of silence for the subscribe button? In 3, 2, 1, hit subscribe, heads down. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next Super Ride.
You burst in a fire.